There was a rumor going around, and this is just a ridiculous story. But I was on my phone earlier today, and Brandon Wilsey is someone who listens to the podcast. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Brandon, but he DM'd us on Instagram. He's just like, hey, like, Micah Parsons, what do you think? Or Micah Parsons to Packers, what do you think?
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons to Packers, what do you think? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? So I went on to Twitter and I see this barking rumor. This is actually the caption. Barking rumor. Even though I don't think he will be traded, the Packers have a very serious trade offer on the table to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons. Hashtag Go Pack Go, hashtag Dallas Cowboys. With 2.2 million views.
What would the trade be?
The account was from Ricky Scoops. And not only did Ricky Scoops... Ricky Scoops has 40,000 followers. I don't know how often his things go viral. I'm sorry if Ricky Scoops is beloved by anyone. I just don't know who he is. Ricky Scoops actually had this tweet, and it says, the graphic says rumor from Ricky with a picture of Micah Parsons, and on the top and bottom of the picture it says bark breaking news. Wow, breaking news. Wow, breaking.
So I went back and looked at Ricky Scoops. He has been on fire this offseason.
Good for Ricky. I mean, but wow.
About a day before George Pickens was traded, he said big Steelers news coming with George Pickens and the Cowboys.
Here goes Ziggy fanning the flames.
Then a couple days later, he said, I'm hearing that the Steelers are in the market for Jair Alexander and Jalen Ramsey. They will get one of them. So at least with respect to the Steelers, this guy has been on point this offseason. Well, so as ridiculous as Ricky Scoops is, I mean, he's been on it this offseason.
Ziggy, what if I told you he's my Pittsburgh source?
That would be
I would believe it because your Pittsburgh source is never right.
But no, so then I saw these articles coming out, and it's like Lombardi Ave put out an article, and Athlon Sports and Yahoo Sports. I'm like, what the hell? This is all generated from this Ricky Scoops article about the Packers going after Micah Parsons.
I mean, now I feel bad. We're going to get this whole fan base super excited. It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, Ziggy's trying to build it back in. Well, Terrence Parsons Jr., Micah's brother, replied to he quote tweeted that post with just like 13 laughing emojis, and then wrote, "It's just laughable to think Micah gets traded," which I agree with. But Ziggy, here's what's funny: is Brandon, who our listener, who I was exchanging some texts with, he's like, "Yeah, but like Ziggy said he might be traded, right? I mean, there could be." And I was like, "Well, I totally disagree with Ziggy on that end." But it was very nice of Brandon. He sparked this show basically. But yeah, so guys, any Packer fan who's getting super excited from this, I would just temper your expectations.
I wonder
here.
What's who would Green Bay? Who's involved on Green Bay's side?
So a Lombardi Ave mock trade, so to say.
Okay.
And I believe this is from that.
Matthew Golden.
No. Remember, we said Matthew Golden in a mock trade like a month, maybe 3 weeks ago when this news came out, and a couple Packers fans were like, no way. But, if you're getting
not even for Micah Parsons.
Yeah. So here was the Lombardi Ave mock trade. Okay. Packers get Micah. The Cowboys get Rashawn Gary, 2026 first, 2026 third, and a 2027 second.
Oh, that's I'd do it if I was Green Bay.
So Gary first, third this year, second next season.
I'd do it if I was Green Bay.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I would make that trade, 100%.
So it sucks having, in this hypothetical situation here, it sucks giving up a first rounder. But Micah Parsons is 26 years old, and he's you can make the argument he's the best player in football.
You would take Micah with the first overall pick for the next 15 years in the NFL draft.
15
for the next like 6 years.
But yeah, no. If Micah was in the NFL draft next season, you're probably taking
number one
overall pick. Unless you fall in love with a quarterback, you're taking Micah Parsons. He's a top 5.
Archman's a good-looking guy.
So, Ziggy, what do you think of that mock trade? At least the Lombardi Ave wrote, like, you can't pass this up if you were the Cowboys.
So I think a lot depends on what the Cowboys want to do this year. The thing I worry about is if you trade Rashawn Gary, you now have Micah Parsons and who else? If possible, I really want to keep Rashawn Gary on the Packers, even if that costs more draft capital. So, the Athletic, their trade proposal a few weeks ago was 2026 and 2027 firsts and Romeo Dobbs. I think that makes more sense for both teams. The Cowboys get a wide receiver 3 they can bring out of the offense. They stockpile more valuable draft capital. The Packers get to keep Rashawn Gary to play next to Micah Parsons with Van Ness taking on a rotational role.
Mm-hmm.
But, if either of those trades are something the Cowboys will actually take, I think some team would probably be willing to outbid them. But the teams that are willing to outbid them would be teams like the Bears, where Micah Parsons probably does not want to go. If it keeps Micah happy, he signs the deal there. I can at least see the trade happening if Jerry Jones gets fed up and says, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
I know that all of these reports coming out are strictly rumors, and who knows, the authenticity of Ricky Scoops at all. But it definitely seems like, and it would be almost foolish if the Packers were not actually interested. And I bet that there's been at least a conversation, or at least a phone call, I'd say, put out to Dallas, because it's just such a great fit. Micah going to Green Bay. It's just the logistics behind everything, and trading to an NFC rival, and I just go ahead, Ziggy.
You have to make the phone call because you don't want Micah Parsons to get Luka Doncic, right? Where like some team offers a bag of chips for him, and you think, boy, we could have done better than that.
Yeah.
So I don't think Dallas is seriously considering trading him right now. But right now, it's a test of Micah Parsons' will, right? If Micah Parsons really says, I'm not going to re-sign with you guys, I'm fed up with Jerry Jones and being in this organization. If he's not going to re-sign, at a certain point, you have to move him or risk losing everything.
Also to see this, again, I all respect to him. I've never heard of him, Ricky Scoops, but somebody who I guess has gained some sort of decent credibility, like predicting something is correct. To see this, I guess it opens your eyes a little bit.
It makes you
if you replace Green Bay with Pittsburgh, I'd be like, oh crap! I'd be like, all right, there's a chance.
You'd start talking yourself into. Well, that's what these guys do on Twitter, though. They post things in there, even if there's no validity behind it. The fan bases see it and go like, "Oh,
but I wouldn't get my hopes up." But I'd be like,
"No," you'd just be like, at the very least, you're glad it's your team in the news."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Wait a minute."
In this regard, so Ziggy, between those two trades that you mentioned, or the two trades that we've mentioned here, which one would you guys prefer if you were the Packers? Would you rather give up 2 firsts and Dobbs, or do Gary first, third, and then next year's second as well?
I think I'd give 2 firsts and Dobbs.
2 firsts and Dobbs.
I agree. If you want Micah Parsons, you also want to keep your next best defensive end so you can have a formidable duo rather than relying on Lucas Van Ness to carry you. Giving up an extra first instead of a second and a third at the end of the day. The Packers, what do you care about your 2027 first? You're trying to win now. You can get a player like Micah.
Yeah. Micah Parsons is worth 2 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. And then it's like you get rid of, Dobbs is good, but you have so many.
Yeah. I always think of the Khalil Mack impact that he had when he went to Chicago that first year. And, that season alone was worth a first-round pick. He was unreal.
Yeah. If you have Parsons and Gary, that's 2 monsters.
Yep.
If you can get Parsons while keeping Gary,
and people are saying Van Ness has looked a lot better this year, a lot faster, different moves. If that's the case, it completely changes the defense, and that's how you help kind of a reeling cornerback room right now a little bit as well with Hobbs. Well, we'll see. Hobbs should be fine. But last thing before we move on here, I wanted to just touch base on what Ziggy was saying about Micah Parsons' willpower. I think that Micah internally right now is kind of done with Dallas, but when he has $45 million a year put in front of his face, eventually, that he will give in to that.
100. How can he not?
No. That's my. I think he might be he'll be very vocal about it, and he might even believe I'm not going back to the Cowboys, but at some point Dallas will give him that contract. He's too good not to do it.
And it's impossible to turn it down.
And it's the same thing that happened with Dak. It's the same thing that happened with CD. For some reason, it's always, as Jerry Jones said the other day, right? 365 days a year, they're a soap opera, which Cowboys fans probably don't like hearing, that their owner wants to keep them in the front page of news as opposed to winning football games. But that's how that quote comes off. Doing this with Micah Parsons keeps you in the news. And we'll see next year. I would just be shocked if Micah's not a long-term Cowboy with a monster contract.
It would be an unbelievable mistake on Dallas's end to not make him a Cowboy.
But if there was anywhere that something ridiculous like that was going to happen, it would be Dallas.
But also Dallas.
Well, actually, it would be Cincinnati, and then it would be Dallas.
Dallas is like the Yankees and the Dodgers. Like they have money through the roof. Like there's no reason
for the salary cap.
Yeah, unlike baseball, you can't spend, and unlike the Yankees and the Dodgers, they're not good. When's the last time that the Dodgers and Yankees were relevant in the postseason? Last year. When's the last time the Cowboys were relevant in the postseason? 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different.
I think the Cowboys and Yankees are very similar teams.
They're similar brands, but they're teams. I mean, the Yankees are in the ALCS.
They both go to the playoffs and lose. That's the same thing.
Yeah, but the Yankees won its World Series like within
15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys. It's been 30 years since they've been in the championship game. It's like the Yankees have been in the ALCS like 5 of the past 8 years.
They won the ALCS last year.
Yeah. All right, I mean that's relevant. Like they haven't won a World Series.
Yeah, I think going to the playoffs is also relevant.
But Dallas
I don't want you comparing winning the ALCS to getting bounced in the first round by the Packers.
Dallas winning 12 games each year is relevant.
But then they lose in the first round.
Okay, so do the Yankees.
But the Yankees don't lose in the
Yankees
first round.
win their
the Yankees lose in the second round. Okay, lose in the second round. Big deal.
No.
I mean,
like it's all the same thing.
If the Cowboys went to the NFC Championship game, 5 of the last 8 years, it's a much different story.
They'd still get the same slack. Oh, Dallas can't win.
But they would be different.
It
would be different because they're really not a playoff relevant team. They're a playoff team, but they're not like a Super Bowl contender most years.
You are thrilled to play Dallas in the playoffs. You're saying, "Oh, right, we get the Cowboys, easy win."
Dallas is a contender for the Super Bowl most years.
Do you think
they win 12 games?
Do you think the Bills or the Cowboys have been more like? Do you think there's a difference in their playoff appearances lately?
No,
the Bills have been going to AFC Championship games and are a real threat.
They both win 12 games and lose in the playoffs. It's the same thing.
I think there's a different legitimacy to it.
What do you mean,
Personally, I do.